Okay, so we are live and we will be learning Python for DevOps. How many of you are ready for Python for DevOps? Python is one of the most popular programming languages. It's one of the most popular. If you see by the ranking, JavaScript, Python, C, and so many, Golang. But if you talk about automation, Python is the top language that people prefer. If you talk about the CNCF landscape, Kubernetes, and all those things, open source contribution, for that Go is more preferable language. But if you talk about day-to-day activities, Python is the most preferred language for DevOps engineers, for developers, for automation experts, and so on. So in today's video, in today's Python for DevOps course, we will be learning Python in just 1 week. So it's a Python week challenge. So today we will be going live on YouTube as well as LinkedIn. But from next day onwards, we will be live only on TrainWithShubham.com. So let me see how many of you are joining from TWS portal. Just drop a TWS in the chat. If you are joining from LinkedIn, drop a LinkedIn or LI in the chat. If you are joining from YouTube, just drop a YT in the chat so that I'll know from where you all have joined. Okay, that's great. Just let me know if you all are able to see the live on all the 3 platforms. That's the beauty of technology. If I wish I could, teach more and more people, I could have done that as well. I would love to reach each and every household so that they can learn something new. Okay, I can see Vasu Reddy, Priyanka, Varshne, Abhit, Pooja, Seema, Soni, Kedar, Jyotirmoy, Nitin, Praveen, Ravikant, all are joining from YouTube. And Sumit, Mayank, Abhishek. Okay, a lot of people are there from TWS portal, which is amazing. Okay, that's great. That's great to know. Okay, that's great. Can you hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the chat. Clear? Awesome. If you can see my screen, let me know in the chat. If you can see my screen, let me know in the chat. Awesome. Let's get started. If you are ready to learn Python for DevOps, drop a boom in the chat. Awesome. I can see a lot of people have joined. There are around 100 plus people on Train with Shubham platform, which is trainwithshubham.com. We have around 52 people watching live on YouTube, and on LinkedIn I am not very sure, but I'm not sure. I haven't checked LinkedIn yet, but I can see a lot of people have joined from LinkedIn as well. That's great. Let's get started. So I'll give you a brief overview of the course, which is Python for DevOps. So initially what I used to do, I used to teach Python in a 3-hour masterclass. So what new we are doing? So how many of you are from Pune? How many of you are from Lucknow, Delhi? Please drop your state or your city. Where are you joining from? So Sneha is joining from Pune, Vibha Pune, Sujit Pune, Snehal Pune, Anirban Pune, Balaji Chennai. Okay, Angad Delhi, Nehal Pune, Vineet, I'm from Noida, Balaji Chennai, Pune Baudhan, that's great. Mayank Mumbai, Kishore Hyderabad, Sumit Bangalore, I'm from Surat, Abhishek Chennai, Sampada Pune, Shilpa Navi Mumbai, Anji Hyderabad, Nagpur, Bangladesh, Pune, Telangana. Oh, if you are from Telangana, Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh, do let your friends know that Train with Shubham has finally started in English as well. Because initially we all know that I started as a Hindi channel, but now Hindi is something which I would love to do it every day. Also, I am starting with English as well, so that my brothers and sisters, my friends from Hyderabad, Telangana, Chennai, Karnataka, they also can learn from me. Okay. Ashok, Pune, Bihar, Bangalore, Lahore, Punjab. Okay, amazing, amazing. A lot of people have joined. So, whichever city you are joining from, I know you want to make that city proud. I know you want to take a job in that city. I know you want to clear interviews in that city. You want to get placed. So, because Python is so important for DevOps, and LinkedIn is so important for your market, for your interviews, for your growth, I want you all to take a Python week challenge where you will be committing me that, hey Shubham, I am taking a Python week challenge with you, so that from 18th to next week, every day I will learn Python. Because Python is not something that you will be learning in just 1 or 2 hours. Maybe after 9 p.m. you will say that, hey, okay, I have learned Python. But to completely understand Python so that you can do monitoring, you can do CI/CD integration and so on, you might take time. So how many of you are ready for the Python week challenge? Just let me know in the chat. What you need to do is take a screenshot of this Python for DevOps. Take a screenshot and just let me know on LinkedIn by tagging me that I have taken the hashtag Python week challenge. Also mention the hashtag Python week challenge, because using this hashtag, I will be releasing notes for each and every unit. So I'll just go through each and every unit once with you all. So today we will be covering introduction, Python basics for DevOps, control flow and functions. These 3 things we will be covering today. Okay. These 3 things we will be covering today. We might even go further and check for some file permissions, file automations. We can even check that. Okay. Then in the next session, we will be covering core data structures, APIs, object-oriented programming, and how to use infrastructure as code. How to use libraries such as subprocess and piping, so that we can use infrastructure as code, and behind the scenes using Python we can do Terraform things as well. Towards the last day, we will be doing some monitoring, logging, CI/CD, advanced Python for DevOps, and hands-on projects. All the 3 days, let's say day 1, day 2, and day 3, notes will be sent on your mail, or will be included on your course, or will be uploaded to LinkedIn. But the main thing is hashtag Python week challenge. So how many of you are ready for Python for DevOps, where I will be teaching you 3 days live, which is 18th November, which is today. Today we are streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, and TrainWithShubham platform. From tomorrow onwards, again YouTube and LinkedIn won't be streaming. We will be doing things on TrainWithShubham platform only. Depends on the audience response. But I'm pretty sure the people who are in this platform, they are loving the platform. If you are loving the platform, let me know via reactions. You can see there are reactions like thumbs up, clap, thank you, and so many things. They are you'll love this platform. Okay. So TWS platform is, again, it's great. You should definitely use it. Okay. Awesome. So let's get started. Okay, I can see a lot of people are ready. A lot of people are ready for some Python action. Awesome. Let's get started. So what I want you all to do is just go to python.org. Okay, python.org, and just go to downloads and check the latest version of Python. Okay, go for latest version of Python, which is Python 3.13. 3.13, it's the latest version of Python, so that you will be aware what is the latest so I asked some person what is the latest version of Python. They said Python 3. Now they are not wrong. Python 3 is latest, but after 3, what is the dot unit? Which is the latest one? 3.7, 3.8, 3.9, 3.12, what? So generally in companies, for example, in my company, we are using Python 3.7, okay? We are sticking to one Python version. So I have many Python versions. So I would recommend everyone to download Python. How many of you are set with Python? They have Python downloaded and also they have this thing. How many of you can recognize this symbol? How many of you can recognize this logo? What is this? What is this? It's correct. Visual Studio Code. That's correct. That's correct. So how many of you are set up for Python for DevOps, which is using two things? First of all, obviously, Python should be installed in your systems. Then you should also have VS Code installed, because that's a code editor that I personally use, and I think majority of the developers around India, around the world, they rely on VS Code. So if you have both the things ready on your laptop, just give a 2 out of 2 score to yourself. If you have 1 out of these ready, just give 1 out of 2. If you have nothing ready, then just go and download it. Don't give 0 out of 2, okay? So go and download it, get your systems ready, get the Python Week challenge started. Awesome. I absolutely love the community. The reason why I do these, workshops, I told about this in my today's LinkedIn post as well, that why am I doing this? Why am I taking my extra time to teach the topic that I've already taught in Hindi? Why I'm doing this? So first of all, people really love when we learn live, and very less trainers are doing that. Very few people are doing live. They have their recorded thing, they have everything recorded, everything is fine, but when it comes to live, very few people do it on a regular basis. So I want the community to, learn every day. Every day. It should be a habit. Learning should be a process every day. Okay? Superb. I can see a lot of people have given 2 out of 2, which means they are all set. If you are all set, let me know in the chat. I can see a lot of people are 2 out of 2. That's great. That's great. Superb. Awesome. Great. Superb. Now, what I want you all to do is go to your VS Code. Okay? Go to your VS Code and just click on, you will see something like this. Open VS Code. You must be, you must be using VS Code, which is Visual Studio Code. Okay? So it says restart to update. I think my VS Code is, it has downloaded the update, but I have not, updated it recently. So I'll just click on restart to update, and my VS Code will be, updated. Okay, awesome. I'm pretty sure that you all also have the latest version of all of the tools that you use. I generally prefer latest things. Why? Because, yeah, I do. Okay. Now my Visual Studio Code is updated. I have the Python installed. I'll just click on this open. Okay, open. I'll just click on open. Now I can see a lot of folders here. Okay. I want to use documents. Inside documents, I have my work folder. Inside work, I have my TrainWithShubham folder. And inside this, I will just create a new folder called Python hyphen, the minus hyphen for hyphen DevOps, let's say English. So I'll just say EN, okay? So whatever folder you want to give, you can give, okay? Just click on create, okay? Create. So you all have created a folder. You all have created a folder and just click on open. So basically what you have done is, you have created a folder in your own computer and you have opened that folder in your VS Code. Okay, simple. Created a folder on your own computer and opened it on VS Code. Easy going. Now, I want to see if Python is really installed in my system or not. How will I check that? I will go on the top menu bar. You can see, right? File, view, and so on. There's something known as terminal. I'll just click on terminal and I'll click on new terminal. Okay, new terminal. So as soon as I click on new terminal, you can see the terminal pops up. Okay, the terminal pops up. It can also be called using control tilde. So there's a keyboard shortcut. So I think from your side it's control tilde or T, any kind of shortcuts. You can go to the menu bar and you can see towards the right hand corner, you will see the shortcut for that. Okay, so I have my terminal ready. All I need to do is just check if Python is installed or not. I'll just do Python -version -version. So I can see I have Python 3.12.5 installed, which is not the latest because latest is 3.13, but it is around the latest. So you can manage with that. Okay, so I want everyone to write Python -version on their command prompt and let me know what is the version of Python that is installed in your system. Okay, I can see a lot of people have Python installed in their system. Amazing. Okay, superb. I can see a lot of people. Can you guide how to install? So you just have to go to python.org, go to downloads and just click this button. So let's say if you are on Windows, if you are on Linux, or if you're on Linux, it's already installed, I think. You just have to download the latest version. And if you're macOS, just click on this and a downloader will open. Okay, a downloader will open automatically. Okay, so just download Python. It will ask for it will ask for a few steps that click installed. And for Windows it's pretty straightforward, just like you install Cricket 07 or any games that you played, just install Python. And if it's saying Python not found, it simply means you will have to learn Python on an online playground. So you can go to Python online playground. Okay, Python online playground. Even I have my own Python. You can go to skillupclub.co/play. Playground, or I don't remember. So just give me a minute. Okay, you can take any one of them. Take this one. I think it's the first one to pop up. Okay, so you can take any kind of playground if Python not found is coming, because, or in the meantime you can try to fix that issue. If it is saying Python not found, it simply means Python might not be installed, or if it is installed, your computer or your terminal can't find the command of Python, which is maybe the environment variables are not set correctly. So that might be a reason. But how many of you are all set with Python? Just drop a all set in the chat. If you have installed VS Code, if you have installed Python, just drop an all set. Okay, I can see all set. Awesome. That's great. Super. Now what I want you all to do is, so just the way you have created a PowerPoint presentation, a text file, or a document. So a PowerPoint presentation has an extension. So every PowerPoint presentation have this extension called .pptx or .ppt, or maybe a document file could be .docs, docx, or a text file would be .txt. Similarly, a Python file ends with .py. Okay, it ends with .py. So let's say I have this Python for DevOps folder in front of me. I will just create another folder using this plus icon, which is plus new folder, and I'll call this folder day 1, day 01. Okay, I'll just call it day 1. And inside day 1, I will just create a new file and I'll call it hello.py. Hello.py. So the file name is hello, and .py is an extension of Python. So whenever we write Python files, we write an extension called .py. And as soon as you write .py, there is a Python logo created here. Okay, there's a Python logo created here. And if you write .txt, you can see a file is created. If you write .tf, you can see Terraform is created. If you write .js, you can see a JavaScript is created. If you write .java, you can see a J icon there. If you write CPP, C++, similarly for Python, always write .py. Okay, always write .py and just click enter. Okay, done. So basically you have just created a hello.py, a Python file for yourself. And all you need to do is start writing your Python code. So I'll tell you something which might help you, forever kind of thing. So what is this computer all about? Many of my learners, they have said that, hey bhaiya, I really fear coding. I don't know how to, how to write code, and if I write code, there are errors, and I don't know how to build logic, DSA, and all these things are not my thing. So I don't like coding. How many of you are in that category? I don't like coding. I don't like things. Okay. How many of you are in that category? Okay. Me, be honest. Okay. Be very, very honest. So, okay, I can see a lot of people are in that category. So I'll tell you one thing about coding. Very simple thing. So you remember how our parents, they used to give us instructions that, hey, please bring bread and butter from the shop, or please do your homework, please do this. And let's say we are not doing. So parents used to understand that, hey, there is some kind of problem with this guy. Maybe we will give him some kind of candy, some love language, and then he or she will listen. But then still it is not listening. Maybe the kid needs more care, more love, more attention. We give the kid more care, more love, but still then we take this and thrashing. So similarly, we have this computer who is like a kid, does not know anything, okay, like a kid. And we are this, big papa, mummy, big, brainy person. We all have very important thing up here, which is known as brain. We are very, very smart. Okay, we are very smart. So we have to give this particular kid instructions. We, the smart person, has to give the lesser smart thing instructions. And you are scared of this. You are scared of this. Why? So the way you think, the way you write your code, similarly the kid will react. So let's say I want this kid to print something on the screen. So just like I'll say, hey kid, print. Now I want you to perform a function. So one thing you should know about a function is that it starts with a bracket, so a parenthesis, and it ends with a parenthesis. So anything that is a word and it has a starting and ending bracket, this is known as a function. It's known as a function. It has a certain task to do. So I want my kid or this particular computer to just say that, hey, just print hello dosto. Print hello dosto. And I want this to be printed in double quotes, which is why I am giving double quotes, because this is a sentence. It is a combination of characters. So whenever we put characters, we have to put this double quotes. Okay. So I want to print hello dosto on my screen. So what I have told this kid, I've given it an instruction that, hey, perform a function for me, print, and in the print, just print hello world or hello dosto. Just print this for me. And that's it. That's it. So this is the instruction that I want my computer to do. So what I'll do, I will go here in my folder, okay, day 1, day, whatever folder you have created. Just right click on that folder, and there is something known as open in integrated terminal. So wherever you have this file, let's say hello.py is kept inside what? TrainWithShubham folder, inside Python for DevOps, inside day 1 hello. So just click on day 1 and click on open in integrated terminals. Click on that. And you will see a day 1 folder appears in your terminal as well. I'll just clear the screen. Okay. And all I need to do is I just have to say that Python, hey kid, just execute that hello.py. Just execute that program for me. Just like your mom used to say, hey, bring some bread and butter, go. So Python, run this program for me. And it ran. It just ran hello dosto. So you are the smarter person. You are the big brains, big smarter person. As far as you can give best instructions, better instruction, the kid will perform better. So what does DevOps engineer do in Python? It just gives some kind of instructions that helps their task automate in a very efficient manner. Okay. So towards the day 3, we will be doing some hands-on projects as well, where we will be automating server backup. Okay. It will be automating a few things. So amazing things lined up for you. So don't fear coding. It's nothing. It's just some kind of characters, some kind of instructions that we give to a computer. That's it. Don't give it so much, attention, so much bhav. Okay. Whenever it requires love and attention, you can give. For example, I want to print the addition of two numbers, which is 2 plus 2. I want to give the addition of two numbers, which is 2 and 2. So I'll just write here and I'll just do this. It shows 4. So how obedient your kid is, how obedient Python is. If it was Java. So first you need to create a variable, give that variable a data type, and then do this, then import things that helps you to give output on the screen, and so see how easy Python is, how easy learning Python is. Okay. So I want you all to just print a few lines on your screen. Just try printing anything on your screen, be it hello dosto, whatever your name is, whatever you want to print it, man. Just tell that person that, hey, this is the instruction I wanted to give. Just give it. Okay. So you are the one who has the, bigger, better brain. Okay. So you are the one who is, the smarter one between the two, not this. So you have to give them instructions. And I, being the trainer, I will be training you how to give those instructions. Okay. Awesome. Great. So how many of you are able to run Python code? How many of you are able to run Python code? Are able to do? Are you able to run? Okay. Nice. You all are able to run it? Okay. Superb. Nice, nice, nice. Great, great. Okay. I can see a lot of people are able to run the code. That's great. Superb. Nice. So, hello, hi, the things are done. Now let's get started with some learning process. Okay. Let's create a new file and call it concepts.py. Just call it concepts.py. Okay, just call it. So we can have any name that we want. I want to teach you a few concepts in one file. So I just want you all to call it concepts.py. Okay, just click enter and you will see concepts.py is open on your screen. Okay, is this screen size fine? Are you able to see what I am writing? Okay, it's fine. Great, great. Okay. Now, let's say I was going to write this is fine. I was going to write this, but as soon as I write this is fine. And if I run Python concepts.py, if I write some random thing in my Python file, and if I run that file, error, syntax error, invalid syntax. So I can't write anything that I want. I have to follow some rules. For example, if you go and say your kid that, he will say, what are you trying to say? Syntactical error, can't understand. Similarly, you have to follow some set of words, keywords, syntaxes that this Python guy understands. Okay. But still, if you want to your kid or this Python guy to ignore things, you can comment it. So let's say I want to write this line. This is fine in my code, but I don't want to execute it. I can just write hash, just like you wrote hash Python week challenge, hashtag Python week challenge. You just wrote hash. Similarly, you can write hash, this is fine. So now that I have written hash, this is fine, and I have saved my file as well. If I run Python concepts.py, there are no errors. Why? Because this line has been commented out. This line is ignored by the Python compiler. It is basically ignoring this line. Okay. So this is called single line comment. Okay. This is fine. It's not fine. This is single line comment. Very, very helpful. Why helpful? Because in single line comments, we generally have, one comment, and that single line can be easily turned on or off using this hash commented out. Okay. But now if you want multi-line comment, you have to use double quotes 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And the line where you want to end the multi-line comments, you have to use double quotes 3 times again. So anything that you write between these 3 things, this line is commented, this as well. So this is known as multi-line comment. This is multi-line comments. Okay, this is multi-line comment. Got it? So hash single line comment, this is a multi-line comment. Okay. Now coming to more concepts, every DevOps engineer should know how to store some kind of value. So the concept is variables and constants. Variables and constants. So variable, what is variable? As the name suggests, variable. Let's say 2. Does the value of 2 vary? For example, I am in Pune. For me, 2 means this one and this 2. Let's say I am in Hyderabad. So the 2 means this only? No. The value of 2 is constant. So 2 or any number in that case is a constant. Okay, it's a constant. But if you provide this value of 2 in some kind of variable called a, let's say a is equal to 2. Now later on, a can be 5 as well. A can be 10 as well. The value of a can be varying every time you use it. Let's say I have a variable called name. So my name is Shubham. So whenever you write characters, you use double quotes. My name is Shubham. But name as a variable can be changed. Someone can have a name of Sham. Someone can have a name of, let's say, Suchismita. This value can vary. So anything that is varying, it's basically a variable. Okay, so name is a variable and the value is a constant. Okay. So can you identify what is the variable? What is the variable here in line number 18? What is this true? What is this? Oh, okay. Variable is true. What is this? So anything that is written here on the left hand side and has been given a value which is single equal to, anything on the left hand side which has a value single equal to, basically this is a variable and this is a value or a constant value. Okay, but I wrote here 2. I also wrote here a double quotes string. I also wrote here true. What are these different types of data that you are giving? Yeah, what are these different types of data that we are giving? So these are known as data types. For example, we have a data type of, let's say, a single integer. Okay, integer, which is a number. We have a data type of float, double, let's say decimal. Okay, float. We have a integer, if variable data type of string. Whenever we have string, we have this double quotes. For example, Shubham. We have this variable called true or the value called false. But how will I remember all this? I don't know how to remember all this. 12, 3.5 is called this, or Shubham is called this, or this is called this. I don't know how to remember it. I'll tell you. So just like you taught your kid or your Python guy that, hey, print something. Similarly, you can ask him to give a type. Of something. Okay, give a type. So I can just write print the type of A. Print the type of A. So the value of A is 12. So if I just run this, it is a class integer, int. Now I want to print the type of B. So whatever the value is coming, I'll just put it as a comment. Class integer. I'll just print the type of B. So it says float. Oh, So anything that is in decimal, I have it as a class float. Great. Now, what is the type of C? Let's see what is the type of C. So Python class str. Oh, nice. So basically, whatever I want from Python, I just need to give it the function and it will tell me the answers that I need. How cool Python is. Okay. Now what is this false? I don't know what is it. Let's ask Python. Hey, print the type of D. Okay. It's bool. Bool. Bool, the full form, boolean. Okay. Only has two values, either true or false. Okay. So can you see, just by writing some kind of code, you are able to do a lot of things with Python. You're able to do, printing of things. You're able to do addition of things. You're able to find the data type of things and so on. So till now, it's just been, half an hour or maybe 1 hour of this session. How many of you think that, hey, Python is not that bad? If I learn Python for, let's say, 1 week, or if I take this Python week challenge, maybe whatever Python I did not learn my entire life, I can learn in this 1 week. How many of you can proudly say that, hey, Python is quite easier? I know how to write Python. Python is getting quite easy. How many of you are able to see that? Are you finding Python easy? The basics of Python, easy till now, quite easy. Absolutely, it is. Okay. Now, let's say I have a variable b which is a float. I have a variable b which is float, which has a value 3.5. Okay. It has a value 3.5. Now, I want to convert this variable into integer. What is an integer? It does not have a decimal value. Okay. So if I have 3.5 as a float, which is a decimal value, if I convert that into integer, the decimal value will be gone. How do I do that? So there is a concept known as type casting, where what you do, whatever type you want any particular variable to be converted, you just write that type. Let's say I want to convert this a, which is 12, to a float. So what I'll do, I'll just write float a. What does that mean? A, which is any value, what I'm doing, I'm converting that into a float, and I'll just print it. So if I just run this program, can you see the a, which was initially 12, now it is 12.0. 12.0, which means the decimal part got added. And if the decimal part got added, it became a float. So this is how you typecast things. Okay. This is how you typecast things. Now let's say you have a value 3.5, which is b. And I want to convert it into integer. 3.5, I want to convert it into an integer. I'll just typecast it and I'll just run. It became 3. So the decimal part got vanished. Why? Because the float had the decimal part. Integer does not want that decimal part. I am converting into an integer. Gone. It's just 3. So this is the concept of typecasting, where you convert one data type into another data type. How cool is that? So why this is important? Because as a DevOps engineer, there might be a few variables in your program or in your script which are not compatible with each other. So what you can do, convert them into whatever data type they're compatible with, do your operation, and then again restore. So you have a lot of opportunities to do typecasting and do stuff like that. Okay. How many of you are understanding the concepts? For example, what are comments, what are multi-line comments, what are variables and constants, what are data types, what are typecasting? I hope you all are getting it. Okay. So I have this way of teaching. In conversation, I start teaching concepts. So 3-4 basic concepts. So basics, Python for basics. So we are getting it covered only. Okay. So I hope you're enjoying. Now, once we have casting understood, let's talk about operators. Operators. You must have heard about operators, right? Cable operator, dish TV operator, system operator, mode operator, anything. But in Python, we have operators which particularly do some kind of operations. Operators does operations. Wow, nice. So let's say I want to do some arithmetic. Hey, what is arithmetic? Bhaiya, you used to say some Hindi words. Now you're all arithmetic and kinda. Bhaiya, you're becoming cool and all. Still same, bhaiya. I have to use this English words. Okay. So, if I want to do some kind of maths like plus, minus, into, division, and so on. So these symbols that you use, these are operators. Let's say I have a value of A is equal to 100. I have a value B is equal to 200. And I want to do arithmetic on operations on this, which is I want to do some math operation on this. Let's say A plus B. And I want to store the value into a C. So I need to use the assignment operator. Now what is this assignment operator? Whenever you assign a value from right hand side to left hand side, we use a single equal to sign. This is known as assignment operator, which is equal to. Okay. So what this assignment operator does, it computes the A plus B, whatever you are doing on your right hand side, calculates the value, and whatever the output it is showing, it assigns that operator to that value to this particular variable. So if I print C, and let's say I want to run this program and it has this print, and print, 3 prints, but I only want to print C. What do I need to do to these two? What can I do to these two? I can simply go and put a hash in front of that so that it comments. I can simply go and hash in front of that so that it comments. So in a single file, I can do a lot of, experimentation using comments. Okay. So I'll just open my terminal now and I'll just write Python concepts.py, enter. I can see it's 300. Okay. A plus B, which is 100 plus 200, it's 300. Similarly, if I want to do minus, which is the subtraction, I get minus 100. If I want to do multiplication, I use asterisk symbol, asterisk, and it gives me the multiplication of that, and so on. So arithmetic operators can do some kind of operations related to computation, plus, minus, into, and so on. Okay. Now we have some operators which are like less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, double equal to. Okay. These are equality, lesser than operator, greater than operator. So these are used to compare two variables. Let's say I want to print A greater than B. A greater than B. So my A value is 100. My B value is 200. Is A greater than B? A greater than B? A is 100, B is 200. A greater than B? No. So if I run this, I get false. Comparison operator. What it is doing? It is comparing things. And if the comparison is true, it will say true. If the comparison is false, it will say false. So is A equal to B? But bhaiya, this equal to is the assignment operator, right? Is equal to is assignment operator, right? Yes. And if I run this program, I'll get error. Because I'm printing an assignment operator which is invalid. So if I write double equal to, which is equality operator, now the code runs. A double equal to B, 100 double equal to 200. No, it's not equal. False. But is A less than B? 100 is less than 200. Yes. Yes. So are you understanding these operators as well? Comparison operators. So these are different types of operators. Assignment operator equal to, comparison operator this. Okay. Now we have some kind of logical operator as well. Not many, just 3. And, or, not. Or you can say and, or, not. And means this and this. Or means either one of them. Not means whatever the value it is, I will just reverse it. If I write not true, it means false. If I write not false, it means true. So that kind of logical operator. Okay. So there are these different types of operators. As you grow in your Python learning journey, you will understand that. Okay. And or not. Let's say if you want to combine two conditions or combine two things, what do you think? You will take this or this. You want this and this. Combine two things. What logical operator will you pick? And or not? And. That's correct. And in Python gives you one flexibility to use these words. And or not. Python gives you this flexibility to use these kind of words. Okay, and or not. Interesting, it's been 1 hour that we are learning Python. Did you feel 1 hour passed away just like that? And you have started learning the concepts of Python. You started, writing Python code. Or maybe if I say that, hey, create a new file and just do some kind of input underscore output dot py output. Okay, output. Okay, input output. So in the next hour, imagine what you will be doing. In the next 2 to 3 days, imagine what you will be doing. My God. Now, can you give some examples for and or not? It will come eventually. Okay, super. Now let's try input and output. So this Python guy, this Python guy, you want this to work, okay, Not just me giving things and he doing things. You want it to work, right? So what I'll do, I'll say that, hey, I will give you an input. You take that input, and based on that input, you do something. Okay? So give an input. So just like I say input, you just type input, and whatever you want to print in that input, you can just write like enter your city name. Enter your city name. And this city name I want to store in a variable. So as the rule says, if you put an assignment operator and whatever you write here, you want to store it in some variable, you put the variable name before the assignment operator. For example, city is equal to input, enter your city name. Okay, enter your city name. So this way what I can do is, I can easily take a city name and I can just print in the double quotes, I can print I am from, and I'll give a space, and I'll just, after the double quotes ends, I'll just come outside the double quote, but I'm still inside the bracket. If I'm inside the bracket, it means I'm still printing. And I'll just put a comma. And I'll say the value of city. I am from city. Okay. I am from city. Okay. And I'll just print it. I'll just execute this program. Python input output.py. Enter. Enter your city name. Enter your city name. So I am from Pune. Okay, I'll just write Pune. I am from Pune. So can you see, I am from is something that I wrote. City is the value that you gave as an input. So enter your city name Pune. I am from Pune. Oh, that's great. Nice. Now, I don't want to use this comma and so on. I want to do some kind of string formatting. So I want to teach you string formatting. So what is this double quote thing? This is string. We learned this concept, right? That anything that has double quote, it's a class str or string. Now I want to format that in certain way. So what I want to do, whenever I want to format the string in a certain way, whenever the string starts, before the double quotes, I just put F. F means formatted string. Now, I am from, this is fine. And in between this, I want to place my city. If I directly write, I am from city, and if I just execute this program, it will say, enter your city name. I'll say Pune, and it says, I am from city. Doesn't look nice. But if you use a curly bracket, and inside those curly bracket, if you put the variable name, it becomes like a template. So I am from city. I just wrote I am from city, and city is in curly brackets, and this string is formatted. And I just write Python input output.py, city name, let's say I am from Lucknow. I am from Lucknow. Okay. City name, I am from Pune. I am from Pune. Let's say I am from Chennai. I am from Chennai. So you can make your code look better and perform more efficiently using string formatting. How many of you have got this concept? The beautiful concept of string formatting. You can take any input, you can use it wherever you want in your string easily. String formatting. Okay. Now, this string formatting does a lot of great things as well. For example, I want to give my name as well. Input in the brackets, I'll put enter your name. Enter your name. And this input I will take before the city. Okay. Name. Input, enter your name. City, enter your city name. And now I can write, hi, hello dosto. Hello dosto. This is dash and I am from dash. I want you all to write the Python code. I want you all to complete the Python code. What you will be writing, I want to give an output. Hello dosto, this is Shubham and I am from Lucknow. I want you all to write the curly brackets and the string formatting accordingly. For example, this F is not there. So this is your input. Now what you have, what you can basically write. Okay. Just let me know in the chat what you can write. Okay. Adil, very nice. Hello dosto, this is name and I am from city. But this everything is coming in blue. Why? Because if you are writing this kind of sentence, you need to have F. You need to have F. So F, hello, this is name and I am from this. Correct. Correct. So if you run this, enter your name Shubham. Enter city Pune. Hello dosto, this is Shubham and I am from Pune. So you can do a lot of string formatting based on your code. Okay. But now this I don't want to print. I want to store this as a variable called about. I can store this thing in a variable called about, which is about me. Okay. Hello dosto, this is name and I am from city. Okay. It's a about. Okay. Now I want to write other name is equal to input enter the other person name. Okay, input the other person name. So let's say I am talking to Abhishek. I'm talking to Abhishek. So will I say, hello dosto, this is Shubham, I am from Lucknow? No, I would say, hello Abhishek, because I'm talking to him, right? When I say dosto, it means a larger audience, okay? So anyone who is not familiar with Hindi language, dosto means friends. Dost means one friend, okay? So this thing. Now, what I want to do is, in my about, whenever I have other name, I want to replace replace. I want to replace. What should I replace? So let's say enter the other person name. Other person name is Abhishek. And instead of dosto, instead of hello dosto, I should be writing hello Abhishek. So in my about, what should I replace with what? I should replace dosto with the other name that I have. What does this dot do? So whatever your string is, it will dot replace. It can do a few, cool things as well. So about dot replace dosto with other name. So let's say if I print about, if I print about and this replace thing I comment. If I print about, can you tell me what will be the output? Hello dosto, this is Shubham and I am from this. So if I just run this, enter the name Shubham, enter the city Pune, enter the other person name, let's say Abhishek. Hello dosto, this is Shubham and I am from Pune. Doesn't look nice, right? But if I use about, whatever my about is, I replace the dosto in that sentence with the other name that I was taking input, and whatever that output comes, I just print it. What happens? Enter your name, Shubham. Enter the city name, Pune. Enter the other person name, let's say Adil, Adeel. Hello Adil, this is Shubham and I am from Pune. Can you see how this simple code of whatever the value you had in about, you can replace whatever word in that sentence with any other word, and that dosto got replaced with the other name, the other person name which I wrote, and it became Hello Adil. How cool is this? That you can manipulate strings as well. First you were able to format strings, now you are able to manipulate strings. So the smarter you are in Python, the better this Python guy can work for you. How many of you think this is cool? This is nice. That if I learn Python for a long amount of time, I can do really cool things with Python. Really interesting things with Python. Nice? Interesting? Okay. Now what all things I can do with Python, or at least with this about, this hello dosto, this string, what all things I can do with this string? Let Python tell you what all things you can do with that. There is a simple thing known as dir. So print, and in the print statement just write dir. Now what does dir do? Dir gives a directory of everything that you can do with Python. Let's say everything that you can do with a data type. Let's say about is a data type. It's a variable of a data type string. So what all I can do with this about? What all things I can do? Let's see. Let's see what I can do. So if I just print or just execute the program, enter your name, let's say A, enter city name B, A. Can you see this? Can you see this? So what all things I can do? It can be found using dir. Dir means directory of functions that can be used in a string. So just like I did replace, I can capitalize the string. I can case fold the string. I can find the center of the string. I can count the occurrence of something in the string. I can encode the string. I can find in that string. I can format that string. I can join that string. I can see if it starts with something. I can replace. I can split. I can lowercase. I can uppercase. So many things I can do. I can even translate. Can you see one string and how many things you can do with that string? These all are known as inbuilt Python functions. These are Python functions. So what I did here, replace, it's a Python function. Okay. What I did here is a Python function. So how many of you got to know that, hey, whatever Python functions can be done on a string variable, I can find it using dir. I can find it using dir. Let's say I have a variable called a is equal to 5. Now, is this a string? Is it an integer? Is it a float? Is it a boolean? What is a? What is a? It's an integer, right? It's an int. So let's say I want to know what all things I can do with a, which is an integer. So dir, what is dir? Dir is called without an argument. Basically, it's this thing. Dir shows an attributes of an object, which means if I put a here, what all things you can do with a, everything it will show. So let's see what all things I can do with just this variable integer a. So I can basically bit count, I can find the bit length, I can conjugate it, I can find the denominator of it, I can check if it is integer or not, check the numerator of it, find the real part of it, I can convert it to bytes, I can do a lot of things, I can multiply, I can add, I can mod, I can do so many things with that integer. So similarly, if I do 5.0, it becomes what? Instead of integer, it becomes what? Let me know in the chat. If I just write 5.0, it becomes a float. And if it becomes a float, what all things I can do with a float? I can see the size of that, I can conjugate it, I can convert it from hex, I can get the real part of it, I can truncate it, I can do so many things. So Python is amazing. All you need to know is such kind of secrets, okay, like dir and a and so on. Okay, let's take a short break. Time for a small break. Okay, great. So basically, we have started with the introduction. Okay, we completed the introduction, which we did a while back. We started with the Python basics, and if you see for DevOps, for basics, it is common for DevOps, it's common for development, it's common for everyone, because this is basics. So basics are just common. Variable types, data types, and typecasting, comments, operators, and so on. So basics are almost same. Next, what we will be doing is control flow, which is conditions, and then we will be talking about functions. Okay, and mostly then we will be wrapping up. Maybe process automation file we will take in the next session, or if possible, we can do it today as well. Loving the Python for DevOps session? Are you getting confident in Python? Are you that person who does not fear this kid or this Python guy? Awesome. Great to know. Super. Okay, let's see if no. Okay, good. Let's take a short break. Meanwhile, let me check a few things. Okay, nice. So the oh, that's great. We just got a new member. Awesome. How much time we will be having this session? 2 or 3 hours? Generally, the weekday sessions will be 2 hours. So be it Python, be it DevOps, be it any weekday sessions, we will be having for 2 hours. and the weekend sessions is generally 3 hours. Okay, because weekdays we are already coming from a job, and then again 3 hours may be tough. So at towards 9 p.m. we can wrap up. Okay, and similarly, just like this free Python class, we have 18th, 18th, 20th and 22nd. So I'll be giving you assignments that you will be doing. The time will be 7 to 9 p.m., which is Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 3 days session. You all will be getting some projects and some ebooks. If you want to learn in Hindi, there is the recorded Hindi already in this particular course. We also have a ebook for you. There's a GitHub repository where you can get all of the code. Okay, and if you want to, how many of you are comfortable with my English as well? You are able to understand things in my English as well. Comfortable? English good? I can speak English, right? Many people thought that this guy nahi ho payega. So good, okay, nice, good. So that's the reason why we are starting the DevOps live cohort, which is the live batch, and it will be in complete English. So it won't be a 1 day or 2 day or 3 day or 1 week or 3 week session. It will be a 3-month session, 3-month batch, but it will be a weekday batch. There's the catch. It won't be a weekend batch, it will be a weekday batch, which means you will be spending more time with me during the week, which is Monday, Wednesday and Friday. The time would be same, just like you all joined right now, which is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in Indian Standard Time, which is IST. Okay, so if you want to check the syllabus, that what all will be covered, when it will be covered in DevOps, you can just click on this download syllabus, and this kind of PDF will be opened. So date wise schedule is given. The 25th November 7 p.m., which is the next Monday, we will be having our first introduction to DevOps session. Okay, so yeah, everything is given. It will be a live batch, 3 months, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, so I hope my English is nice, and you all can enjoy learning DevOps with me. Okay, chalo. So yeah, talking about Python, I will be creating a GitHub repository. So GitHub repository I'll be creating. Okay, and all these things, the day 1, day 2, day 3 things, I will be putting in that GitHub repository only. And the best part would be, whatever you are practicing, just practice. You will get errors. For example, Bithika got right at attribute error something. So you will understand that, hey, what is attribute error? So you'll just go here and just go to a new tab and say attribute error in Python replace. Okay, something, this object has no attribute replace or something kind of error. Then you will start looking into it. Then you will understand, oh, I was doing this wrong, I was doing that wrong, and so on. So the more you practice, the more you will understand that, hey, errors will come, and all you have to do is, you just have to know that you are the smarter person. This Python guy, whatever you write, if you give wrong, it will give wrong. If you are giving right syntax, it will work. Okay, just like a small kid. Okay, and eventually we figure out, right? So if someone is not working properly, we do them, give them attention, we give them love, care, and then they work. If they don't work, go aggressive, find for answers, and so on. Just like that, we can also learn Python as well. Okay, superb, nice. Let's see what my YouTube audience are saying. Sir, you are better in Hindi. Oh, Someone is saying Hindi mein padhao re. Obviously, there are more than 800 videos on Hindi. Are you coming for Dev Fest Pune? When is it? If invited, I'll definitely come. Okay, chalo. That's it from my side from the break. So that's it for the break part. Let's continue with our Python learning. Let's continue with control flow. Now, I'll just go here and I'll create a new file. I'll create a new file called conditionals.py. Conditionals.py. So, in your family or wherever you stay, you must be getting some kind of conditions that, hey, if you score more than 80% or if you get a good job, then only this will happen. If you do this, then only this will happen. If you do this, well and good, else you do this. If you're doing this, good, else if you do this, good, else if you do this, good, and so on. So, you have a number, say A is equal to 10, B is equal to 30, and C is equal to 50. If my A, which is 10, if it is greater than B, then I will say, if I want to put then, I can directly write colon, this double colon. Okay. Now, if A is greater than B, then as soon as I write this colon and I press enter, can you see, if I have a normal line and if I write A and I press enter, it comes to the next line. But if I put this colon and if I press enter, it comes to the next line, but it is coming with a 1, 2, 3, 4 blank spaces. 4 blank spaces. This 4 blank spaces is known as indentation. What is that? Indentation. So which means if, which is a conditional, if this is true, then whatever happens, that will happen after that 4 blank spaces. So let's say if A is greater than B, I will print A is bigger. A is bigger. And if I want to write more things, if A is greater than B, I can directly write print yes, I want to tell again A is bigger. So whatever I want to write, I can keep on writing. But if I want to come out of that condition when A greater than B, this condition, this if condition, if I want to come out, I can come with a backspace, and if that 4 spaces indentation is over, you are out from that if block. So if the scope of this if block is just limited to wherever you have these 4 blank spaces. If you want to come out, then just come with a backspace, you're out. And let's say if this condition does not become true, then what? Else means if this is not happening, then do this. If this is not, then do this. Else. If else. So else print what? B is bigger. So if A greater than B, then A is bigger. Else B is bigger. As simple as that. A value is 5, B value is 1. 5 is greater than 1, condition true, A is bigger. But if A is value 1, B value 5, A is not greater than B, then else will execute. If this is not satisfied, the control flow will never go inside this block. It will go to the else block. So, if this line is true, then only the control flow goes inside this block. If the above if condition fails, then it goes to else. So if A is greater than B, condition is false, then it will show B is bigger. So whenever you want to do these kind of things, you can use if else. Similarly, if I just run this program, Python conditionals.py, enter B is bigger. Why? The value of B is 30. But let's say if I put B as 30 and A as 100, then the value of A is bigger, right? So A is bigger. Yes, I want to tell again that A is bigger. Okay. So this part executed. Similarly, you can directly write env, which is your environment. Let's say your environment is dev environment. And you can write if environment double equal to dev, print load dev application. So you can run the dev application if the environment is dev. Else print not in dev environment. So you can do whatever use case you want with Python. Let's say you want a dev environment check. You want to check if the CI/CD pipeline is failed. If pipeline is equal to fail, true, pass, you can do conditionally. Okay. Let's say if env is dev, so what will be printed? Load dev application. But let's say if environment is production environment, then what will happen? Not in dev environment. So the else part is printed. Can you see if and else? How many of you are clear with this if and else? You can write conditions here. This should be either true or false. You can't do something like a statement just like that and just get if and else. It should have true or false. Okay. Now, if A is greater than B, A is bigger. What if I want to check another condition after this if condition? I want to check another condition. I can write L, which is else, if B is greater than A, print B is bigger. Then again I want to check if C is greater than A and C is greater than B as well. So can you see, I combined two statements. I combined two things. C is greater than A and C is greater than B. So let's say I did A is greater than B and A is greater than C as well. Then A is not bigger. A is the biggest amongst A, B, C. Can you see? Amongst A, B and C, A is the biggest if A is greater than B and A is greater than C. Can you see the magic of this and? If B is greater than A and B is greater than C as well, then B is the biggest. If C is greater than A and C is greater than B, then what happens? You can print C is the biggest. Else you can say all are equal. all are equal. Can you see how interesting this becomes? Let's say you give a value of A as 10, B as 30, C as 50. A greater than B, condition false. And A greater than C, condition false. It will never go inside this. Elif, check again. Is B greater than A? 30 greater than 50? 30 greater than 10? Condition true. And B greater than C? B 30 greater than 50? No. And any one of them it is false, it will not go inside. C greater than A, which is 50 greater than 10, condition true. And C greater than B, 50 greater than, condition true, yes. Then C is biggest. So if I run this now, C is the biggest. And if I have all of them as 10, all of them equal, and if I run this now, all are equal. Why? Because none of the conditions are satisfied. So if, elif, and else. So the control flow goes like this. If is always on the top if you are comparing something. Then comes elif, and towards the end it is else. Okay? Towards the end it is else. Okay? Now, what I did in the first place, I was changing the values of 20, 30, 50. I was changing the values and I was running again, which is not a very good thing to do. What if I made this code a bit modularized code? I made this as a function, and in the function I can just pass the values, and whatever value I pass, I will get an output. So what is a function? In a function, whatever statements are written, let's say you have written a logic to find the biggest number. This is the logic to find the biggest number. Now I want to run this logic again and again with different values. So what I can do, I can wrap this around a function and I can use it again, right? For example, print is a function. Print is a function. Now inside that, whatever value you give, it will print that. Got it? Similarly, I want to create a function to check biggest. I want to create a function to check biggest. And inside this function, I will pass 3 items, which is A, B, and C. And now whatever value of A, B, and C I pass, this function should tell me if whatever is biggest. So what I'll do, the rule of function is you have to define a function. So you have to do DEF, define. Okay, you have to define a function. So let's say these are the lines and I want to create a function. So what I'll do, I can go toward the, in my code, I can write DEF. DEF means you're defining a function. Define a function. Let's say I want to call this function check biggest. I want to call this function called check biggest. And inside the function, so if you remember, anything that I would give a parenthesis becomes a function. And if you want to define a function or create your own function, you need this def. Now, I will just put a colon. As soon as I put a colon and I press enter, I will get that 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces indentation. Which means whatever I write inside this becomes a part of the function. Okay. So let's say I will take my logic of comparing and finding the biggest and I'll just paste that logic inside this. Now the entire indentation is disturbed. What I can do is, let's say this indentation is disturbed, I can go to this print, and this 4 blanks denotes that if condition is inside this function. But this print statement should be inside if, which means there should be 4 blanks before print as well. So in our computer we have this tab button. If you press this tab, 4 blanks indentation. Can you see? The print is now perfectly indented inside the if condition. So your if condition is inside the function and the print is inside the if condition. Now if you want to give this elif inside the function, what I'll do? I'll just put a tab before that. So elif is inside the function. But this print is not inside elif. So I'll just give a tab, bring it inside. Inside, inside. Tab, tab. Now my function is perfectly indented. So I have a function. If I press enter, I get 4 spaces. Inside this, my code is perfectly written. But in the function, I have these values A, B, C, which are not there. So this particular bracket, it acts like a doorway where you can put values. So I'll just put A, B, and C. These 3 things. Okay. Now I don't need this, right? I don't need this. This is gone. But I need the values of A, B, and C, right? I need those values. So what I'll do, this function check biggest is done, right? It's done. If I run this, Python conditionals.py, if I run this, not in dev environment, which means the A is biggest, B is biggest, this did not run. So if I delete this as well, let's say if I delete this as well, I just have the check biggest function. And if I run this, no, nothing. So which means function is defined, but it is not executed, it is not called. So you need to call it. How to call it? Just say its name. Check biggest. Hey. So after you define the function, just call the function check biggest. And this is the doorway where you put items. Let's say A. You can put the value of A as, let's say, you can put value of A as 10, B as 20, let's say 20, and C as 30. And this A, B, C, you can put it here, A, B, and C. So the value of A, which is passed as 10, value of B, which is passed as 20, and value of C, which is passed as 30, will go inside the check biggest, and then this computation will happen. Let's see. C is the biggest. Oh, nice. If I put A as 100, A is the biggest. Okay. And if I put B as 200, B is the biggest. So which means I have created a function. Okay. I have created a function, and that function is now doing its own logic. So simply, whatever I want to do, let's say I have 2 numbers, A is equal to 3, B is equal to 5. I want to find the sum of these two. I can create a def add numbers, and I can put A and B inside that, and I can directly print, or yeah, I can directly print the A and B. So whatever I want, I can put inside a function, and I can call it as many times I want. Okay, as many times I want, I can call it. Okay, this is the use of function. So let's say you are a DevOps engineer and you want to take backups. Okay, take backups. So let's say you have a code to take backup, and that code is something like da 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 da, some code. So what you can do is create a function called backup, and you can pass the directory A and directory B where you want to take the backup, and just inside that you can have the code to backup, and wherever you want you can call this backup, and whichever folder, whenever, wherever, whatever you want to do, you can take a backup. So similarly, you can create a lot of functions in Python that can be used by entire team. Anyone can use that function, and you as a developer can do a lot of things. So what I do as a DevOps engineer at my firm, so I just create these Python things, let's say some kind of functions. I'll show you a few functions. Let's say something like this: backup files. So I take a function, I create a function, I just give it source, I just give it destination, and I have the logic to take the backup, and backup is done. So wherever I want, I can take this function, use it, take a backup. I want to check disk space, I can check disk. I want to check CPU load, I can do that. Whatever I want, I can do it in Python. Are you finding Python interesting? Are you finding Python easy, interesting? That if I create a lot of functions, if I keep on practicing Python daily, maybe one day there will be a sun rising and saying, hey, you are now a DevOps engineer who knows Python as well. And how many of you would be happy saying that, hey, I have one new skill that I can add to my resume, saying I can create these kind of functions where I can upload files to my AWS S3 buckets using Python. I can download files from AWS S3 bucket using Python. I can check my APIs and its response. I can check if my AWS cluster is working fine or not. I can even deploy Terraform stuff. I can plan Terraform things. I can apply, destroy Terraform infrastructure using Python. So once you understand how these functions are created, once you understand how you can use Python, it becomes very, very easy for you to do things. And I want everyone to learn Python. So make the best use of this course. And how many of you are now enjoying Python, that they are now able to understand how the control flows via conditions? How do we create functions? Now let's say I have a task. I have a task where I want to do something. Let's say def do something. It can be anything. So print something is happening. Okay, maybe do something, or instead of do something, let's do something important. I can do check which OS. Okay, check which OS, or simple check OS. And inside this I will pass OS, which is my operating system. I can just pass op system. I can just pass operating system, and I can check if ops system double equal to, oh sorry, if ops system double equal to Windows, then print if elif ops system double equal to Linux or op system double equal to Mac, print you are good to go. Okay, something like this. Something like this I want to check. Now, I want to check this op system one time. So I'll just do check OS. I call it, and let's say inside this I passed Mac. Let's say I've passed this. Okay, Mac. And if I run this program, python task.py, you are good to go. Why? Mac. But I want to run this again and again and again and again 5 times. So what I can do is, I can just copy this and I can just paste this 5 times. Now I want to do it 500 times. So I can just copy and paste and paste and paste and paste and paste. I will grow old. Instead of this, I can use something known as loop, which is loop. Loop means loop again and again. Wake up, go to office, come back from office, study, eat, sleep. Wake up, go to office, study. So loop. Okay. So how is the loop working? For. So for is a loop that takes a range of numbers. So that range of numbers should be given to some kind of variable so that it can hold. So for I is a very common example. So for I, which is in range. So range of numbers. Let's say I want to have a loop of 5 numbers. So I can write 1, 5. 1, 5. Let's say 5 numbers range. Okay. And whatever I want to do in a block, I use colon. And as soon as I use colon, I press enter, I get 4 spaces. So which means whatever I want to put inside the loop should be inside this 4 spaces. So I'll go here and I just press tab. Now this is basically inside the loop. So let's say I want to run this function again and again. I used a for loop and I will just execute. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, it only gives 4 space, this thing. In my opinion, tab adds 5 spaces. No, tab adds 4 spaces. So you are good to go 4 times. Why? Because 1 to 5, starting point 1, ending point 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last part 5, it is not included. The last part 5 is not included. So let's say if I want to run for 5 times, either I can use 0 to 5, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I can use 1 to 6. This is how I will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is 5 times. So if I run this 5 times, if I run 0 to 5, again 5 times. But if I run 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th, which is the last, this, if I write 5, if I write 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 10th one will not be calculated, so it will print 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 times it will print. So the last part is not, the last digit 1 minus, just do 1 minus, okay? So this way, whatever you want, you can do it. Okay. So I'll just give a teaser of what will be happening tomorrow. Not tomorrow. So as per the schedule, the day 1 was on 18th, the day 2 is on 20th, and the day 3 is on 22nd. Okay. 18th, 20th and 22nd. Okay. So I'll just give you a small, hint what will be happening on 20th, which is the day after tomorrow. I will be importing, which is basically a library that can do this thing. Which operating system I have, it can identify. Currently I'm writing Windows, right? Linux, Mac. But there's a library that can identify that. The library is known as OS. So let's say, what all things can be done inside OS? Can anyone guess that amazing function? Whatever you pass into it, it will tell you everything. Hemant. Great. So if you print dir, and inside the dir, if you just pass OS, for some time I'll just comment out this for loop so that it won't print again and again. So if you just put dir OS, and if you just run the program, so many things that you can do with OS. Let's see what all things you can do. My God. So you can check the access. You can chmod. How many of you are from batch 8, batch 7, batch 6, batch 5, or anyone who has learned Linux from me? Can you see what is chmod? You can modify permissions. You can modify ownership. CPU, you can see how much CPU count you have. So many things. Get current working directory. Get path. Open something. You can remove a directory as well. Can you see you can do entire Linux using this import OS? How cool is this? You can do the entire Linux using this. Uname. Let's see. Print os dot uname. Let's see. Built-in function uname, just call that function. So just call this function. POSIX uname, sysname Darwin, node name Shubham. What is Darwin? Darwin is basically a Unix based operating system. Okay. So what if I do uname.sysname? Darwin. Now what is Darwin? Does anyone know what is Darwin? Anyone know what is Darwin? Darwin is the core Unix-like operating system of Mac OS. So basically, this particular code will tell me if my system is Darwin or Windows or Debian or... How cool is this? So I don't have to take a input from anyone. I can directly check I can directly check my OS. If my os.uname.sysname is Linux, or my os.uname sysname double equal to Darwin, you are good to go. Can you see how cool is this? Can you see? You are good to go because why? You have a sysname Darwin. Getting it? How in the next session we will be using libraries to do our work. Instead of we doing the manual work, we will be using libraries to automate the boring stuff. Okay? We will be doing process automation using libraries. Okay? Interesting. Sounds interesting. Loving the Python for DevOps course. Awesome, awesome. So let's take a challenge. How many of you are ready to take a Python for DevOps 1 week challenge? How many of you are ready? Just let me know on LinkedIn. Just let me know on LinkedIn if you are ready for challenge. How you can use this hashtag Python week challenge, and we will be posting a lot of content around this hashtag Python week challenge. So, and how many of you have already posted this screenshot on LinkedIn, which is Python for DevOps? What all things will be covered in the next few days? How many of you have already posted? Hashtag Python week challenge. So Biswaroop Mandal already posted. Let me just check. Let me quickly check. Posted but did not tag me. So you need to tag me as well. That's how I will get to know that yes, you have posted. Yes, you are learning Python. Yes, you are doing things. Okay. So why? Because you have to be consistent in your journey. If you are not consistent, it basically shows that the discipline is missing. So you must have seen that even though that silver play button is here, still I am making videos. People after 100k 1 lakh subscribers, they just quit, like done ho gaya, I am done. But no, still doing live, still making videos, still making sure that whoever have benefited from this channel, benefited from the videos, benefited from the courses, continue to get that benefit. They continue to learn Python, DevOps, Jenkins, Kubernetes, Terraform. So more videos will be coming. Now there are courses in English as well. If you see DevOps 0 to Hero English live cohort, which starts on 25th November, weekday batch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Same just like this. Okay, superb. So how many of you will be coming on Wednesday as well, which is the next day 2 of our Python? How many of you will be joining, where we will be learning data structures, we will be learning some object-oriented programming, we will be learning some API interactions, automations. Coming. Great. Superb. So, how many of you have friends as well who wanted to learn Python but they couldn't learn Python because of a few reasons? How many of you have such friends? Like maybe he or she can benefit from this. So share with your friends so that they and you both learn equally. We don't have something known as competition. We have something known as collaboration. So if you collaborate with more friends, your learning journey becomes more easy. That's what I feel. So bring more friends, share it with the community, let the community grow with you. And that's it from my side, and I will see you all in the next video. I hope you all enjoyed the day 1. Day 2 will be happening on 20th November with some cool things lined up. Day 3 will be happening on 22nd November with amazing things lined up, some projects as well. If I see the same participation, which is 100 plus people, 200 plus people, we might have a day 4 as well. You never know. You never know. Okay then. I think that's it from my side. I will see you all in the next video. So thanks for watching till here. I will catch you live on 20th November. Till then, I don't know how to end English video. This happened last week as well. But till then, take care and keep watching Train with Shubham channel. That's it from my side. Ending the stream in 3, 2, 1. Bye.